Heyo, what's up people, welcome back to my channel. This time once again with Tower of God Season 3 Episode 72. We keep going with the grind of this series. So yeah, last time, well, once again, nothing too big happened. Except that our favorite coffee guy almost lost his battle in the game he's participating in. So we'll see how this match goes. Also, I'm sorry if I look tired as fuck. It's 1 AM and I'm recording this right before heading to bed. But either way, if you guys enjoyed this reaction, smash the like button, support me, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also join my Discord, link is down in the description below, as well to my Twitch and to my Twitter. Even though, as you can see, I'm streaming this at... Actually, you can't see, but yeah, I'm streaming this at the moment, but my chat is pretty much fucking dead. I don't give a fuck though. Anyway, I won't be wasting any more of your time, guys. With this, I'ma switch layouts and start reading through this chapter right fucking now. Okay, Tower of God, Season 3, Episode 72. Warning. This episode contains depictions of violence that may be upsetting for some readers. Oh boy, so this means this episode will be more serious than the previous ones. According to what I was told, you are supposedly a very rare genius, even among the 10 great families. I guess that was just a bunch of rumors. Well, nah, I'm pretty sure he will show you who's the boss in this game. Before joining Yasuracha's army, Paracha didn't belong to the Lopobia family or the felines. He belonged to a minority known as the Rashangs. What the fuck does that mean? Yo, I'm back, and I'm a ranker now. Oh, you're back. Congrats. The Rashangs have their own particular mask on their face. And this mask, at least his mask in particular, reminds me of that one guy from Demon Slayer, if you know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, perhaps because of the mask, most people view them with fear and suspicion. Conversely, some collectors also hunted them because they linked the mark, because they liked the mark. They had to get stronger to defend themselves and hid somewhere more isolated. Then one day, the felines invaded their remote village. Oh shit, so they were forced into becoming part of his army, I guess. The felines began slaughtering the Rashangs with their overwhelming military superiority. Caught off guard and by the surprise attack, the Rashangs were either killed or taken prisoners. Yup, and some of them, as I see, were forced into becoming part of the army. Paracha, the leader of the Rashangs and one of the few rankers, tried his best to fight off the felines, but he wasn't strong enough to fight them off by himself. But Yasuracha, he had been keeping an eye on him, and right at that moment, he stopped the battle, approached him, and made him an offer. He said that he would stop the battle and stop the killing of stop the killing of the Rashangs, and let them run away if he becomes a feline. At first, Paracha refused, saying it was a ridiculous offer, but Yasuracha told him to look behind him. Behind Paracha were the remaining Rashangs. They trembled with fear as they looked at Paracha. Paracha couldn't forsake them. Also, I'm sorry if I'm massacring his name, but I'm pretty sure this is how you pronounce it. Doesn't matter. Ultimately, he accepted the felines' power from Yasuracha and became one of them. Okay, so this is his full backstory, I guess. He wasn't exactly forced into joining, he had a choice. As much of a choice it is. Then he joined Yasuracha's army and vowed to fight for them. Okay. In the army, Paracha used his outstanding talents and feline power to great effect. He achieved victory whenever he went. Okay, so he's an outstanding soldier. He sometimes felt guilty about killing other races in a similar situation to his own, but he had a reason to fight. With each fight, his status increased and He amassed wealth and honor that most people couldn't even dream of. But he used all of that wealth to rebuild the village of the Rashanks who ran away from Yasracha. Haracha's huge investment helped to rebuild their village and enable them to prosper. Advanced rankers in the army were unbelievably wealthy. Yeah, that's to be expected, especially when you are part of Jihad's army. The odds are always on your fucking side when it comes to this. So yeah, it's normal that he's prospering. As a result, whenever the Rashangas needed something, they started asking Haracha for it. At first their requests were few and far in between. But as he kept granting their request, everyone began asking for more and more. They didn't train themselves or worked as hard as they used to do in the past. They were no longer a persecuted but proud race. The Rashang village became filled with pleasure-seeking lazy people. Oh damn. Whenever they needed something, they made no effort to acquire it all by themselves. They always turned to Haracha and asked him for it. As time went on, he began to feel burdened by them. He had to fight more battles in order to satisfy their countless demands, and as a result, he became used to being with the felines and his troops in battle. Yep. Without even realizing it, he gradually became more and more feline. When he finally noticed this, his body and mind had already passed to the point of no return. He tried to avoid turning into a feline, but he had to keep fighting battles, and over time there was no way to stop the transformation. Eventually he began eating, behaving and sleeping like a feline person. Damn. The less frequently he saw the Rashanks, the more he distanced himself from them, and a long while later an incident occurred. When he began reducing contracts with the Rashanks, some Rashanks felt that he had betrayed them and worried that he had sided with the felines. Ultimately, the corrupt Rashanks leaders gathered and held a meeting. And one of the leaders made a rash proposal. He suggested that they tell Yasracha that Haracha betrayed the felines and he had been helping the Rashanks, and asked him to get rid of Haracha in exchange for accepting the Rashanks leaders for felines. Surprisingly, this absurd proposal was supported by the majority of the leaders, and the Rashanks ended up sending a representative to Yasracha. The representative revealed that Harach had been deceiving the felines and helping the Rashanks this entire time, and asked him to accept them as felines. Yasracha had no reason to accept such a proposal, of course. That long tongue of yours reeks of lies. In response to Rashan's offers, Yasracha cut his tongue right then and there. Oh my fucking lord, this cat is way more twisted than I expected him to be, not gonna lie. But I can't be surprised anymore by him. Having heard about the incident, Harach quickly rushed over there, but it was already all over. Yasracha told the flustered Haracha that he already knew about everything from the very start, but decided to turn a blind eye on it. He said that if Haracha didn't completely sever his ties with the Rashanks, Harach himself might be in danger as well. Okay. Given a choice between saving himself and his own race in order to prove to Yasracha that he was a loyal feline, Haracha vowed to kill all of the Rashanks himself. But he wasn't lying. That night, he and a few trustworthy subordinates took some of the hostages from their previous battles, dragged them into Rashan clothes, drew the distinctive Rashan marks on their faces and slaughtered them all. That night, the land in front of the Rashan village was covered in blood, and Haracha sent Yasracha a picture of the bloody scene, buying himself some more time. Okay, so he is basically playing around with fire at this point. At the same time, he evacuated all of the Rashanks in his hometown to another place, and he and some of his most loyal subordinates snuck away from the feline army. Then they rejoined the Rashanks, loaded them into a floating carrier they had prepared in case something like this happened, and quickly left the area. In the floating carrier, Harach hoped that he could forget everything that happened with the felines and make it a fresh start. Oh boy, you should know way better than thinking that, especially when it comes to someone that is a commander in Jihad's army. You can't get away from this, no matter where you go. He thought that if they could settle somewhere new, he and the Rashanks could go back to their old selves. But he was wrong. Oh boy, was he wrong. Was he fucking wrong? This is where the problems began. A few of his loyal feline subordinates were on board. Over time, the relationships between them and the Rashanks began to deteriorate. The Rashanks didn't want to be led by them since they were felines, and they demanded that the felines give up all of their special privileges. But there was nothing they could do about it. They needed the feline warriors both in battle and for maintaining the floating career. Besides, these dedicated subordinates had risked their own life to go with Harach. But the Rashanks, who were the majority on the career, strongly opposed them. You fucking idiots, basically. Yeah, at this point I don't even care about you. I'm just going extinct. How the fuck do I say it in English? Extinct. Yeah, just go fucking extinct. Bitch. Can't you be at least show some gratefulness towards them? They are risking their own fucking lives for you. And in the end, Haracha had to tell his feline subordinates to give up some of their wealth and power. Even after that, the Rashanks continued to take away the feline status and wealth bit by bit, just like they did to Haracha. The felines became more and more unhappy, and the whole system began to shake at its foundation. Yeah, if you can even call this a fucking system, like I don't see a way this will ever work. Harachi couldn't shake the feeling that something bad was going to happen, and he was probably right. Everything he had been trying to avoid was now happening here all at once. The floating career was meant to be a way of getting away from everything and making a fresh start, but it soon began to feel so heavy that it might sink at any moment. His uneasy premonition became reality much sooner than he thought. The felines, who had continuously given away everything they had, finally couldn't take it anymore and rebelled, and some of the Rashanks were even killed. The Rashanks used this as an excuse to demand that the felines should be kicked out of the ship. The felines apologized, but the Rashanks refused to forgive them. In fact, maybe the death of their fellows wasn't actually that important to them at all. Haracha knew the real reason why they were so angry. It was because the felines had more than them. The felines had more than them. At some point, the Rashanks couldn't stand it anymore. If anyone had even a little bit more than them, they developed a habit of demanding equality. Oh my fucking lord. But they made no effort to make things truly equal, because Haracha had simply granted all of their impossible demands up until then. The felines eventually became tired of this and left the career, and Haracha couldn't stop them at all. Without him, there was no one to operate and manage such a massive career. But he couldn't ask them to stay there any longer when they had given up everything to follow him. But the Rashanks, unaware of the implications of their departure, held a feast to celebrate. They thought that they would finally have the status and wealth that the felines enjoyed. Of course, not a single one of them knew how to operate the enormous floating ship or how to fight their enemies. A cold sweat ran down Haracha's back. Ultimately, the floating career will sink. Even after landing the career, the Rashanks will fail to acknowledge reality and will go extinct after they finally had taken everything from Haracha. Of course, the old Haracha might not have minded going down his own people like that. He would have avoided using his feline powers even if it killed him. Defending his race would have been his most rational goal. He would have joined them in their madness without hesitation, but not now. Over time, he began seeing his people more objectively. He found himself standing somewhere between the Russians and felines, like he was caught between the two poles of a magnet. Because he was the one who had changed and not the Russians. And maybe it was his own fault that they ended up like this. Yasracha was right. If he doesn't choose one of them, either the felines or the Rashanks, this hell will never end. And in the end, he would have to abandon at least one of them. At that moment, he made up his mind. He extended his long claws, the symbol of the felines, and in order to cut all ties between himself and the Rashanks, he turned his back on them. Oh my lord! That evening, the floating ship turned red like a sunset, proclaiming the day's end. Haracha then abandoned the floating ship and returned to Yasracha's army. He would now be a feline forever. The only thing from the Russians that he had left was that scar on his face. Oh lord. Damn, his backstory was tragic as fuck. But still, was there even a point in this? I don't think he will be that much of an important guy in the future. Whatever, it was still an interesting backstory, I think. Because overall I love learning things about the tower, and this entire shit with his race was completely new to me. At least I think that they haven't mentioned that race in the past. So yeah, this isn't good. Oh yeah, right, the whole acid thing was happening, that bastard. How the heck did he concentrate that acid in one spot like that? With that much acid, he could actually hurt me. Well, no shit. What's wrong? I thought you were a division commander in Jihad's army. Are you afraid of a little attack like that? Ah, or could you perhaps not defend yourself against acid because you are too small and too light? Oh my lord. Okay. Just as I expected, the battle is starting to turn around. Well, actually not turn around, but yeah, it looks better for a coffee guy right now. What? What did you just say? I thought maybe I couldn't block your attack because you are so fast, but I guess I was wrong. You can instantly reduce your body size and weight to almost zero. That's how you dodged my attack. And you looked so fast. You looked so much faster because you got smaller, isn't that right? I knew that there are people who can compress themselves, but I've never met someone who can do it like you. I'm surprised. What the hell are you even talking about? Oh lord. I have no fucking idea what's happening on those panels, but yeah. I knew it. Something didn't make sense at all. If I was hit with a direct attack from a high ranker, it should have killed me instantly, yet I'm still standing. I didn't notice it before because you were so quick and there was so much light everywhere. Yeah, just exactly what I'm saying. I can't even understand what's happening in some of those panels when you're fighting. But when you compress yourself, your attack power and defense also get weaker, don't they? One of the tower's rules is that all abnormal abilities come with risks. Maybe you can't control Shinsu then. Ha, you seem to have figured it out, but you still can't do nothing about it. You can't attack me or defend against my attacks. Even if you attack me with acid like that, I can just avoid it. It might take some time, but you die eventually. Wrong. You were doomed from the very moment I figured that out. Because right now, I'm going to get all of the acid in this place over there. Oh lord, there we go. Oh, there. What are you up to? That Shinsu has the unique ability to pull anything towards it. Anything? It's called a black hole. and just like a black hole, it sucks absolutely everything around it. Its only downsides are that there are a lot of restrictions in terms of its power and how big it can get, and I can't stop it once it's been activated. But even with a little area like that, it's more than big enough to gather all of the acid around and cover you with it. So you better brace yourself, because you are going to get sucked into it very soon, since you are much lighter than the acid right now. Oh lord, damn it. Yeah, for real, but will this really be the end of this fight, huh? Oh lord. Well, that was fast. Damn it, I have to get out of my beast mode, but the acid just keeps coming. It looks like he's planning on gathering absolutely all of the acid in this place, but according to the rules of the game, the acid in the cat tower has a high enough concentration to hurt even a high ranker. If he keeps surrounding me with this, I won't be able to last very long. How the hell can you control Shinsu like that? I'm a man of many secrets. Stop messing around. If you gather all of the acid in one place, you get yourself killed as well, you idiot. This is suicide. Suicide? The hell do you mean? I have my way out of here. What? What's that? And the mouse is... Oh yeah. Yeah, he's thought out of this. But how? You didn't actually think I killed the mouse, did you? Why would I do that? I pretended to shoot the mouse with a Shinsu cannon, but I really captured it in a Shinsu bubble. I made it as sturdy as possible. Oh my lord, you clever, you very fucking clever boy. I made it as sturdy as possible, but I was afraid it may melt soon because of the acid. But thankfully, you fell right into my trap, and even sooner than I expected. You son of a bitch. You were messing around with me this whole time. Well, of course, I've always been a con artist. You called me a hypocrite, right? Well, you are right. But I'm not a hypocrite because I pretend to be nice. I just really want to tear down the world that Jihad has created. I wasn't helping the weak. I wanted to encourage those who dislike Jihad to draw their swords and fight him. I've never taken pity on people who are weak or who have no will to fight, like I said. Nor have I ever helped anyone unconditionally. I help those who may be useful to me. But I'm more than willing to abandon or turn my back on those who are of no use to me at all. You know nothing about me, about who I am, and why I want to defeat Jihad, or even where it all began. And I'm actually curious as well where it all began, because we as readers also don't know that much about your backstory. You bastard, who the hell are you? I guess you could say I'm the only person who wants to destroy the leader of the 10 great families for turning his back on morality and choosing a lawlessness. What are you talking about? Well, so long. Hey, wait a second. Oh lord, and he just left him there, that little jerk, damn it. He really got me good. Give it to me. We want your body. We don't have a body. Give it to us. Your body, your arms. Oh lord, your legs. You guys again? Aren't you tired of this? We want it. How much more do you want from me until you're satisfied? Oh damn, those fuckers are stalking him even if he's fucking dead. This is fucking terrifying. Didn't expect to see this from Tower of God, but damn. Actually, now that I think about it, we have seen something similar with all of the souls that White has consumed, but yeah. Give it to us. I'm so sick of you people. If you really want to have everything I have, why don't you just take this disgusting tattoo first? No, we already have one of those. End of the round. Participant Bam won the battle within the time limit. Oh damn, finally we are back to Bam. I didn't think he would be able to beat their leader in 10 minutes. Maybe I underestimated him. Well, no shit, he's a fucking irregular. You always end up underestimating him. He's definitely way stronger than a ranker. Well, actually, yeah, he's definitely stronger than a ranker. Participant Ban may continue moving on to the next turn. I won, but I don't feel good about it. Well, no shit. They were just fighting for their own freedom. Why would Yasuracha make us fight like this? To discourage you maybe, or to try breaking your spirit, or something like that? You may now leave the battlefield. Okay. Okay. Don't show any weaknesses. My master is waiting for me. I've come this far, no matter what sacrifice I decide to make. I won't give up till the very end. I'm surprised the regular managed to clear up all of the monsters in one turn, but there are still many monsters and obstacles ahead. I wonder how long will the regular be able to last. And if he continues jumping the route to the end game sooner, he may be shooting himself in the foot. Oh damn, is that so? Because if he goes that route, he'll have to face a true monster that even Lord Yasracha gave up trying to control. Well, the rule is to kill them, so I guess there is no possibility of that quote-unquote monster joining our side. So yeah. But knowing Bam, he may end up consuming this fucker's power somehow. No matter what kind of power it is. Lord Haracha, why don't you just stop now? We're worried you might hurt yourself. You are always fighting in battles for our sake. Yeah, we have plenty now. We don't want to see you wear yourself out anymore. What do you mean? There are a lot of races in the tower much stronger and wealthier than us, not just the felines. We Russians need way more power if we're going to be independent. I'm going to keep doing whatever I can to make our clan or race stronger. You should want more of yourself as well. Let me know if there is anything you need. If you want money, food, or anything at all, I'll fight for you and get it. I'm going to make our race so wealthy and powerful that no one will ever look down on us again. Even if it takes centuries or millennia, I'll give it everything I have. You can have it all. Everything. Damn. Why did I help such unambitious people? Because I love them so much. Yeah, because I laughed. And this is the end of the chapter. Not gonna lie, I kind of feel bad for that guy now. Because he just ended up doing what he can to help his race. But yeah, at the end of the day, that ended up worsening things for him. And now he's dead, and with him I think pretty much the entirety of his race is gone as well. So damn. That's that. I don't know if we can get F in chat because I'm seeing some people active now, but yeah. If you guys want, tap F in the chat for him. But yeah. That's it for this episode's reaction on Tower of God. Once again, sorry for being late and not uploading it all the way back in Monday, but yeah. I just couldn't record it then, so whatever. And now hopefully we will start following Bam's perspective once again, because, not gonna lie, I am interested in the backstories of the others, but I'm way more interested in how Bam's thing is going to progress, because yeah, that's one of the things that I have a hate-love relationship with when it comes to Tower of God. The fucking switches between characters and points of view. Like, in one side, it's good for world building and character development and all, but in other side, I just want the story to keep progressing faster. And yeah, with those games, it keeps getting slower and slower and slower. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I think that the pacing is pretty good, but still, I would have enjoyed it way more if they kept it in the perspective of only Bam, Kun and Arak, let's say, for example. So yeah, not that many switches. Anyway, I'm in this reaction right now, and yeah, I'll see when I'm going to upload it over on YouTube. So, see you guys in the next reaction video. Bye.